Hello everybody. So we're going to see about getting the 318 started up today in the 68 Plymouth Fury that we had saved from the crusher. I have the number one cylinder out, spark plug out, not the cylinder, the spark plug out of number one cylinder. That's what I'm trying to say, which is on the driver's side front on these 318s. So I got the plug out, stick my finger in the spark plug hole, turn the starter over here with a screwdriver, get compression up. I'm going to stick the battery cable on it. I'll stick my finger in the hole, cross the starter out. There we go. Shoot. If I can keep my screwdriver on it, it actually blowed stuff out all of my eyes, which is a good sign. That means good compression. So now we'll get him to turn the crank for the socket. I'm going to stick my screwdriver in the number one spark plug hole and see when the piston comes all the way to the top. Coming up, up. Oh, going down, back up a little bit. Oh, back up a little bit more, going down again. Right there is top dead center. So now we'll go ahead and see about getting this distributor in this thing, if I can talk here today. I have the distributor laying over here in a coil. There's our distributor. I actually took a piece of sandpaper a minute ago and just sanded the points a little bit. Did check the gap on them. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the distributor down in the motor. And you got to have the rotor button pointing at number one on the distributor cap. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this distributor dropped in there. Right there is a timing mark on the harmonic balancer and the timing cover. We are lined up on 0. Now let's get the distributor in there. Okay guys, to show you what I did here, this is number one on the distributor cap. So I put it on the distributor and I marked where it's going to sit. That way when I'm putting my distributor in the hole, I can line the rotor button up with this blue mark I've got on my distributor right here. We now have the distributor sit down in there. You can see my little blue line I made right there, and the rotor button is pointing right on my blue line. That's the easiest way to set them in there and line them up. Now we have the distributor hold down. We're going to go ahead and get put on it, and then we'll get around here to putting the coil on it. But for right now, let's get our distributor hold down on there and get it not tightened up, but down just enough to keep the distributor from jumping up out of there. That way we can still turn the distributor a hair each way if we need to. While he is putting the distributor hold down on, I am going ahead and clean this spark plug, old school spark plug. It's actually got an auto lock plug in it. But I'm going to go ahead and put the plug back in it while he is tightening the distributor down a little bit.
Well, you just can't speak at all today.
I can't speak. Okay, he's got the distributor snugged down, but we can still turn it. It's a little stiff turning, but we can still turn it that's the way we want it. I got the plug back in it, plug wire on it. And by the way, these are 13/16 spark plugs in this. This is a 1968 model. So now let's get the distributor cap on it and get the coil on this thing. And we're getting ready to put our coil on it. I have marked the positive side of the coil. Our distributor wire will go to the negative side of the coil. We do not have a key switch in this car, so we're not going to worry about the wire going on the hot side of the coil for the moment. We'll just run a wire from the battery right straight to the hot side of the coil, and that will power us up. So let's go ahead and get this coil mounted in here. We have our coil mounted. Now we come down here to the fuel line. Took the fuel line off the fuel pump. Got a hose here to put on it. And run it just into a gas jug. We got a carburetor here to set on it now. Go ahead and screw those nuts off of the studs. We did put studs in the intake the other day. And we have a carburetor here now. But we had to turn the fuel line upside down on it. And I'll explain to you right here in just a second why we had to turn the fuel line upside down. Let me go ahead and just set it on here. Okay, now it's sitting on there, but we had to turn the fuel line. Was supposed to come down and out. But when the fuel line was on it, it was hitting the intake right here. It wouldn't let the carburetor sit all the way down. So for just what we're doing to hear the motor run, we just run the fuel line up and over. We will run the fuel line from right here that has a clear filter in it up to this. That way we can actually see when we're getting gas up to the carburetor from the pump, and that way to tell us that the pump is working or not. So right now we're going to go ahead and get the carburetor bolted down on it and get this fuel line run. All right, guys, got our carburetor mounted on, our fuel line run down. We got a jug sitting in the inner fender right here. The fuel line run to the fuel pump. Line run up to the clear filter. Then ran on into the carburetor. Let's go ahead and put some gas in this carburetor so we can fill this bowl up right here. That should go directly into the bowl of the carburetor. Let's put a little in there for now and see what it's going to do. We're going to put a little in the carburetor itself, just to see if we're getting any kind of fire or anything there. Hopefully the distributor is going to fire. We run a wire from the hot side of the coil over to the battery. Put it on a clip here, or we can clip it on the battery to power the coil up. We'll put our cables on. We should have a little spark. We don't have any spark there. Sometimes you get a little spark from doing that. But we'll try it and see. We ran a wire from the starter up here. Let's go ahead and touch it to the battery there and see what it does. Let's just check and see if we're getting any spark. Let me pull one of the spark plugs back out and turn it over and just see if we're getting fire to the spark plug. All right, guys, we're ready to try to give it a start now. Go ahead and put a little bit in the carburetor. Just pour a little bit down there. All right. I'm going to put my wire on the battery for the points. I'll get you to work the starter wire. Go ahead and turn it over. Hey, look here, guys. He's running. Sitting there running on her own, guys. What about that? See no smoke? No smoke. It's just running the gas, what we had in the carburetor there. But it is running. Told you guys we get this thing. Let me go ahead and take my wire back off my points for a minute. Told you guys we get this thing fired up and running. Go ahead and put some more gas in the bowl of it right here. Fill that bowl back up one more time. We'll try it again. We are going to have to put a plate between the carburetor and the intake because the throttle's not wanting to open far enough. It's hitting the intake itself. Right here is all the throttle we can get. I don't know if you can hear it, but the carburetor plates, butterflies are hitting the intake. So we're going to put a spacer under that, but that will get us fired and running. You put a little in the carburetor itself, down the throat, but just a little down there, and we'll try it one more time. All right, good deal. Hooker points back up here. Try her one more time right there. Yep.
Contact.
She's running, guys. I think we're going to turn that distributor just a little bit. Let me turn that distributor just a little bit, I think. When it started, maybe it's turning it around some. Try it again.
Yep.
Yep. There we go. She's sitting there running on her own, guys. Trying to show you the harmonic balancer down there. There she is, sitting there running. We're going to do something about the carburetor. Like I said, we're going to put a spacer under there where we can sit here and run it for a while, open it up. We'll come back on another video and do that. Let me go ahead and unhook my points here. I told you guys this thing would run. I knowed it would. I knowed it would. It's sensational. These old cars are sensational. And to think that somebody had actually hauled this off for scrap, took it to the crusher to be crushed. We do have a little smoke back there now, but that's flood smoke. I could smell it in the air. We had flooded it a little bit, but I see no oil smoke out of it. We'll get a rear end put under this car, get a carburetor spacer plate put on it. We'll do a video of driving this car.
Right.
He said, that's right. That's right, folks. We'll do a video of driving this car.
It'll be sensational.
It'll be sensational, he said, and I must agree 100%. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here. Like I said, we'll come back on another video real soon. Put the rear end under it, carburetor spacer plate on it. Go ahead and get an alternator and stuff on it. Since it is running now, we can put our alternator brackets on it, or fan, stuff like that, on the front dress on it, and get it to where we can drive this thing out of the garage. But as I was saying, it's just hard to believe somebody would haul something off like this to sell it to the crusher to be crushed. That just breaks my heart. I'm so glad that I was able to save this 1968 Plymouth Fury 3 from getting crushed. If I hadn't got it, guys, this would already been crushed, probably run through the shredder, come out in metal shavings, and it would just be gone. I mean, it's a good part of history right here would just be gone. But if you guys like this kind of content, please go to my channel, subscribe, hit that like button, ring that notification bell. Hope everybody's having a sensational day.